Hi, welcome to another reading vlog that starts with a get ready with me. But yeah, I decided I want to do a reading vlog for no particular reason. I said in my last one that I did want to do more of these, so I'm attempting to do more of these. Today's Monday. It's the first day of reading, I don't know what I'm saying, but we're in the middle of the Asian Readathon, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm currently reading while I get ready. So I have a mirror over here, and I might be looking in that instead of this. So I'm currently reading 2 books. I just finished a book, so we got that going for me. I finished, what is the 3rd book in the Crazy Rich Asians trilogy, which I literally just forgot the name of. China Rich Girlfriend is the 2nd one. What is the 3rd one? I forgot what the 3rd one is called. Sorry. But yeah, I just finished that. It was good. I rated it similarly to the 2nd book. I feel like the book kind of got lost in what it was trying to do a little bit because like the 1st book is about Nick and Rachel and like meeting Nick's crazy family. And then the 2nd book is more about the crazy family, and like this book is also more about the crazy family, and like Nick and Rachel have really taken a backseat. And while I really like the family, it just was weird. The writing isn't anything to like write home about, but I really enjoyed the general book, so yeah. And so after that was the audiobook I'm listening to, so I needed a new audiobook. And now I'm not reading an Asian book, but I will be reading, I'm currently reading 4 Dead Queens by Astrid Schulze. I think that's what the author's name is. I maybe made that up. But yeah, it's a standalone fantasy. I actually have the ARC, but I got the audiobook out from the library because I did. And yeah, I'm reading that now because it's due back in 5 days, and it's actually a pretty popular book. Like I think I was on hold for it for a while, and I'm actually liking it so far. I'm a little confused on some of the politics, but hopefully I'll get some answers to that soon. But yeah, so far it's really interesting. I feel like look at my little big pimple. Yeah, I love when I have giant pimples right in the middle of my forehead. It's really fun. But yeah, so I'm reading that, and I think I'm like 20%. I literally just started listening to it on my way home from work. Oh, it's after work, by the way. I'm getting ready to film a video. I feel like I did not introduce this video at all, actually. I'm getting ready to film like a regular video. I'm going to be filming my April wrap-up. Probably nothing else, which is why I'm trying to do like minimal makeup. I go for concealer when I'm like doing minimal makeup, but like it ends up being the same amount of effort, so I don't know why I bother. And the 2nd book that I'm reading is another book that I also have an ARC of. It's The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. And I'm literally like 20 pages in. I'm like so not far in at all. So there's that. And this one has a little bit more of a confusing premise. Oh, I didn't actually tell you what 4 Dead Queens is about. Hold on. Okay, I took out my headphones because I felt like it was going to be more annoying to hear like the mic move around while I was doing my makeup then it is annoying for me to be talking more quietly. So yeah, but 4 Dead Queens synopsis is basically it's a standalone fantasy, which we love in this house. In this world, there's a country, which is the country we're set in, that is divided up into 4 quadrants, and each quadrant has a queen, and each queen rules over their quadrant, and the quadrants all work together to like form the country, but they're also like treated really separately. The queens come to like the capital palace place, and they stay in the palace. They can't go back to their quadrant or anything, so they rule together. Like 4 queens rule for each of the quadrants, and then somehow all 4 queens are murdered, and somehow the character we're following is like a common thief. Not common, but like she's a thief, and so somehow she gets wrapped into it along with some other guy that she like just meets, and they both get like wrapped into it, and they go on like a quest to try and figure out who killed the queens and like what happened. And yeah, and I assume the country's gonna like go into turmoil and stuff, and it's gonna be real fun. And The Gilded Wolves, I don't really know what it's about. I feel like when I talked about it in my TBR, I still didn't really know what it's about. What I've gathered so far is I know it's like a heist novel set in like early 1900s Paris, and in this world there's like magic, but I don't know anything about the magic. I know that there are rings involved right now, but I'm literally 20 pages in, like I don't know anything. I assume it follows multiple perspectives as well. I really need a new brow gel. I think I'm gonna try the ColourPop brow gel, but off topic. But yeah, I think that's it for the books that I'm reading, and I'm probably going to start a third book because I like to have an ebook going. I'm probably going to start reading 1,000 Beginnings and Endings sometime this week. We'll see. Because my last ebook was Again But Better and I finished it. You can probably see it on my Goodreads. This is definitely going up before my May wrap-up. Spoiler, I gave it 3 stars. But yeah, I didn't read it in this vlog, so we're not going to talk about it. That's kind of it. Okay, so I kind of look like a clown, but it's fine. We're fine. Also, this lipstick, this is clearly a sample. I mean, is it clearly? I don't know. This is a sample from Sephora. It's Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know what it's called. That's the end of this fake get ready with me. I'll update you guys another time later. I'm gonna go film my video now, and then I'm gonna go get dinner probably. Okay, so we're here for another update. It's Tuesday. I just got home from work. I just got home from work. I haven't been home that long. This eyeshadow look is brought to you by one color of eyeshadow, as most of my eyeshadow looks are. Actually, the ones I do for my like regular main channel videos are, I only have one channel. For my regular videos that aren't vlogs, I usually have 2 or 3 colors, but I can't do eyeshadow looks outside of that because I'm dumb. That's neither here nor there. Nobody asked. I'm here to update you guys, and this is going to be a long update because there's a lot, and I have actual book mail to open for you guys, but we'll get to that. Last night's update, I didn't do anything last night, but today, during the course of the day, I think I'm now like 25% of the way through 4 Dead Queens, which is going, okay, so I'm listening to the audiobook, which I mentioned before. Did I mention that? I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. I'm listening to the audiobook, and it's kind of weird. The narrator, so like I mentioned, and when I said the synopsis in the last clip, there are like 4 factions, like 4 different sections of the like country, and the narrator does like a different accent for each section, and it's kind of annoying. I don't know. It just makes it a little jarring. Like, I appreciate the differentiation so you know who's speaking, but I feel like normally when narrators do that, it's like, I don't know, it's like a different voice and not, I don't know, just weird. And maybe it's not weird, I just don't like the accents she chose for each faction, I guess, because one of them is like Scottish, and one of them sounds like light and airy and like is annoying, and I don't remember the other 2. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. And I don't know, I feel like maybe I am hitting the stage in my life where I just don't like YA romance, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because I feel like in every other book I read, I don't like the romance. I don't know if it's me or the books. Like, I don't know if the romances are being written badly or if I just don't like them, or like if I'm outgrowing like YA romances, because right now there's clearly like some kind of love interest thing going on. I've always not loved romances unless it's a specifically romance book, because I don't understand why girls and guys can't be friends, especially in YA fantasy. They just force some kind of relationship that doesn't need to be happening, and I can see it already forming, and it's like really weird. And there's also another relationship that was a friendship, and I didn't buy it, and there was basically like a betrayal in the beginning of the book, and it just didn't seem realistic. I don't know if that's the right word, because the way all the descriptions of the person who like betrayed the main character, whose name I forgot, like all the descriptions of that person were like, they're my friend, all this stuff, and like it didn't seem like their like sudden turning around of who they are seemed like out of place and out of character, even though like it's only like 10% of the way through. It just seemed like not quite right. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's interesting so far. I like learning about the different factions. It does remind me of Divergent because Divergent has the monopoly on different factions, and I'm going to powder my face. Okay, so now I powdered my face. But yeah, so that's 4 Dead Queens so far. Like I said, I'm like 25% of the way through, and yeah. And the other book that I'm currently reading, The Gilded Wolves. Hold on, I can pull it out. The Gilded Wolves, which I apparently bent in my backpack, which is really annoying, but that's The Gilded Wolves. What it looks like. I'll hold it, you know, like real booktuber. Yeah, I'm on page 34 now. It's really what I just read on the subway this morning, so I'm not that far into it. So far, I don't feel like I have an opinion on it. Right now, it's kind of hard for me to get into because this book is very description heavy, and I usually like lyrical writing, so I don't know if it's the writing or if it's me, but it just makes it really hard to like focus on reading it. It's kind of hard for me to get into because there's just so much description, and I kind of don't care. Like it'll be like a paragraph of like something happening and then like 2 paragraphs of description. That's a little exaggerating. So that's like the biggest thing for the book so far, and we're learning a little bit more about the magic. It's called forging, which I still don't know really what it is or how it works or even really what it does. I think I'm gonna try and read a little bit more of this tonight, at least before I go to bed, because I would like to finish this week. Yeah, so I got this package. It's from Macmillan. I think I know what books these are. Like, I don't really get unsolicited copies, so I'm pretty sure I know what books these are, but I thought they were coming from a different publisher, so I don't know. So I'm going to open it. And yeah, can I do it on camera? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is one book. Okay, I know what book this is. This is not what I thought it was. I won this from Bookish First. It's called Magic for Liars, and like the back says, everyone has a secret. Murder, mystery, madness, magic. What are you thinking? What are you hiding? Can't read. I'm a booktuber. Can't read. When does this come out? This comes out June 2019, and yeah, I got it from Bookish First in exchange for an honest review, and I'm excited to read it. The synopsis of it, I forget. Oh yeah. It takes place at like a magic school, and that really is what intrigued me. I just got home from work, and by just got home, I mean I've been at home for like half an hour now, but yeah. On my way inside to my apartment, I ran into my roommate coming out along with her girlfriend, and they were going on a run. So I have the apartment to myself for at least another half an hour or so. She goes on long runs. If you're wondering why, yes, I am so excited that my roommate's girlfriend has moved in for basically the next month and a half. That's a long story short. And yes, I do love sharing an apartment with an extra person who I did not sign up to share an apartment with for the next month and a half. Yeah. Do I sound bitter? Because I am. Yeah. But enough of that. Today, you're just gonna watch me put on some 2% salicylic acid on my acne because that's what we do here. In case you're wondering how I'm doing in life, today I don't feel that great, actually. This is the hottest I've ever been. But yeah, I'm not feeling that great. I'm actually like really tired, and maybe this is TMI, but okay, so I started birth control last month while I was on my vacation because, you know, you're supposed to start it when you start your period, and that's when I got my period. I know it was a great vacation having my period for half of it, but yeah, so I decided I wanted to start birth control, and like started it the way you're supposed to start it. But now I know birth control can have like a bunch of side effects, so now every time I have anything that's wrong with me, I'm like, is this a side effect of birth control? So like I've been feeling tired, and I kind of have been having like some stomach cramps like this past week, but I'm on like the 3rd week of the birth control now, so I don't know if this is just my body getting used to it. I'm gonna give it some more time. But yeah, clearly I hide nothing from this channel because I'm here like literally treating my acne in the camera. So yeah, but to update you on my reading, I'm 35% of the way through in 4 Dead Queens. What I said in my last update still stands. I don't really like the accents the narrator puts on. Yeah, and I'm also a little confused about the plot. So I meant to check the back of the book because I do have the arc. I don't know if I think I mentioned that. So I want to check the back of the book, like the synopsis, because I'm like, maybe the synopsis I have in my head is wrong, because it seems to take place in like a dual timeline, and I didn't expect that. And I don't know if that's what's going on or what. So I want to check. And also the main character is kind of a dick. Like there was a scene where the guy she was with, he had to change and he was very uncomfortable with someone else being there. So he told her to turn around, and then she's like, makes a huge huff about it. And then she like turns around anyways and like starts watching him change. And I was like, really? Really? So yeah, she's kind of a dick. And I'm not a fan of the romance. I mentioned that in the last clip, but it's only 10% difference, so I might listen to a little bit more of that when I go get my dinner, because no matter what I do, I cannot convince myself to not eat out. You know, I've been trying to work on this. I'm supposed to like not eat out Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday I can eat out, but it's just so hard. I'm fortunate enough that I can afford to eat out, but I definitely spend too much money on food outside of my home, and it's also not really good for you. Like, I'm not going out and getting salad. Like, that's not me. But yeah, I definitely should be saving money. But I am not. And like, it's not even a convenience thing, because right now I have like those frozen dinner meals that I buy in order to convince myself to not eat out. And I'm purposely ignoring them in favor of better food outside. So there's that. And also my reading, The Gilded Wolves, I'm on page 60 something. And again, what I said still stands. I'm still a little confused, just because of the writing, and I'm not really sure like what the magic is, what's going on there. I think we've gotten a chapter from every character's perspective so far, or like maybe I'm missing one, but yeah, so we're getting to know them, but hopefully I get used to the writing and I can enjoy the book more. And yeah, so that's all the reading updates I have. Hopefully I say it every day. Hopefully I'll read The Gilded Wolves at night. Oh, I did read a little bit of it at night, but like I also read more this morning on the train. I don't read in the afternoons on the train because I get headaches for some reason in the afternoon, but not in the morning. It's really weird. I wanted to like do a different unboxing. It's not for books, but I got some makeup from Sephora. Is it Sephora? So this is kind of a skincare haul. It's not a lot of makeup actually. Yeah, I just wanted to share because I'm vlogging and this is about sharing my life. The Ordinary Azelaic Acid Suspension. So if you don't know, The Ordinary, which I was just using, this is my skincare brand of choice because it's cheap. Another The Ordinary, another salicylic acid. I'm like halfway through this one, a little less than halfway, so I figure I'll run out eventually. Might as well. Vitamin C suspension, 23% plus hyaluronic acid spears, 2%. This is white, you can't see it. I used this one, vitamin C, a couple months ago, and then I switched to The Ordinary's other vitamin C formula, which has slightly more vitamin C, but it's in a silicone. And I like this one better, even though this one is like grittier, I guess. You can feel like the particles in it, and the silicone you can't. But I just feel like this one is actually, like it worked better. Like I felt like my skin looked brighter with this one. And my last The Ordinary item, this is another like rebuy, I guess. It's the AHA 30% and BHA 2% peeling solution. It's just like a mask. I don't know how I feel about this mask, but I felt like I'm not giving it its proper chance. Like I feel like I need to use it regularly every week to like see benefits from it, and I haven't been doing that. Cover FX Power Play. This is foundation in N90. This, normally I wear shade 100. Before my vacation, I was lighter. And I realized that my foundation was so dark. So I wanted to get me a winter shade now because I felt like if I didn't get it, I wouldn't remember. And also my skin will be getting lighter because I use a lot of like chemical exfoliation on my face. So it lightens faster than the rest of me. I also got my winter shade in the Fenty foundation. This is Fenty 410. This is actually like my medium shade, I feel like, if that makes sense. Like this was like my first day in Turks and Caicos skin, like after the first tan. So it's like too light for me. But like when I have like a healthy skin, when I have like a healthy glow, this is my skin. And then we have the 2 samples that Sephora always lets you get that are always not as good as you want them to be. So I got the Glow Recipe Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. I don't know how much you watching this pays attention to the beauty community, but for a long time people have been talking about diversity in the beauty YouTube community and diversity in makeup, and this is just one of the examples that I think of because I always look at the samples and I would love to sample. There were so many foundation samples and like concealer samples. There are like a lot of lipstick samples as well. They never have all the shades in the foundation samples, and they never have all the shades in the lipstick samples, and the shades that they do choose are almost always too light for me, or just not my shade. Or really, for most of them, I don't know how they're anyone's shade, because they literally will do like 3 light, medium, and dark, and like that's it. I remember the foundation samples that they had at the time that I was ordering, like the dark did not even look like that dark, even for the sample. And I looked at that foundation shade range and they had darker shades, so they just didn't want to put it in the sample for some reason, which is just so annoying. Sephora like touts these samples as like one of their like great things and stuff. If they're gonna do that, then they should let you choose which shades you want to sample, because who does that work for? Like, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for people who look like me. It doesn't, even people who are like lighter than me, like even if most people who are not like, I guess, a generic skin tone shade, whatever that means, that doesn't work for anybody. So that bothers me. And also for the lipsticks, they're almost always like a pinky nude, which I don't like. I don't think that looks good on me. It's always supposed to be like a nude, like that you're supposed to be able to wear without a lip liner. There's no way I could wear most of the shades that they give out as free samples as a lip liner. I remember for the birthday gift, it was like a pinky nude was one of the options. It was either like that, like lipsticks, or the Glam Glow kit. And I ended up getting the Glam Glow kit, and the Glam Glow kit, that's really hard to say 5 times fast, ended up having a primer moisturizer thing that was like skin tone. Like it left a white cast on my skin because it was not made for my skin tone. Like, I don't know why they didn't, I thought it was just a lotion, but I didn't realize it was tinted. And once again, there was no option for a different tint. That really annoys me. Hi, it's me, I'm back. Not even back, it's the next day. I'm still reading both books I'm reading. 4 Dead Queens, I'm now 45% of the way through. I definitely could be more. All the things I said before still stand. And I did read the synopsis, and it doesn't say anything about like dual timelines, but it is taking place during dual timelines, unless I'm missing something. I don't know. But yeah, everything else I said before still stands. And also one of the villains, I guess, in this, I still don't like him. He's like the betrayer I mentioned, I think, in my last update. It just feels like super mustache twirling villain. It feels off because like he was friends with the main character, and then like he betrayed the main character like at the very beginning of the book. And like we didn't really see their friendship or any really closeness with them. So it just feels off that he betrayed her because we don't care about him. And also it doesn't really seem like the main character cares about him either. So it's like she mentions it, but it doesn't seem like there's any like emotion there. Like she's just like, yeah, he was expected to do that, even though like she didn't expect it. It's weird. But yeah, that's my only issue. Right now, if I were going to rate it, I think I'd probably give it 3.5 stars, depending on how it ends, because I am intrigued by the mystery and, you know, the 4 dead queens. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm on page like 90 or so of the Gilded Wolves. Once again, everything I said in my last update still stands. It is getting easier for me to get into and read, so that's good. I'm not as confused as I was before. That's kind of all I have to say. Today, I am going to, like, after this, I already ate dinner, actually, because it's almost 7, and I was actually in the middle of watching Tuca and Birdie. It's a show on Netflix. You should watch it. It's kind of weird, but I'm enjoying it. Like, it's by the same artist slash creator of BoJack Horseman, but it's a different story and different characters, and like technically it's a different world, but the art style looks really similar. Yeah, but it's kind of wacky, kind of fun, kind of interesting. I don't know, I kind of like it. I'm on episode like 6. Tonight I'm going ballroom dancing with a couple of my coworkers, I think, or maybe just one of my coworkers, which is going to be kind of awkward, but we'll see. I invited all of my coworkers and then they all ditched me except for one. So yeah, we'll see. There's something I wanted to like mention in this. Normally I keep politics out of my like videos and stuff. Like, not really. Like, I feel like by like the books I read and the way I talk about books, you can probably tell I'm pretty liberal, feminist. But yeah, I don't usually directly talk about things. It just feels like heavy topics for me. But Alabama, like this week passed the strictest abortion bill I think there ever was. And last month, Georgia, the state that I'm in, passed another strict abortion bill where abortion is illegal after 6 weeks. And then if there is a miscarriage after 6 weeks, then the person who had the miscarriage can be questioned to see if the miscarriage was their fault. And then if they determine that somehow, some way, they can be prosecuted. And right now, I just saw on Twitter, because I can't stay off Twitter apparently, what state? Missouri has, I think, the most stringent abortion bill. I didn't look into it that much because honestly, abortion politics really upsets me a lot. Abortion is like my hard and fast rule of, I guess, politics or whatever. I don't know, but if you're not pro-choice, you can unsubscribe from my channel. If you're not pro-choice, then we can't be friends. All of this is taking a toll on me because I don't know. It's just such a real, concrete example that the government hates women and people with uteruses. That's what it is. They say all this stuff, this is for the mother's health, but also people who are not women can have uteruses. But it's not for anybody's health. Forcing someone to carry a pregnancy and give birth is not for anyone's health. Once the baby is born, they never give a shit about it. And it just really upsets me. And it upsets me so much that I have all of these words and stuff blocked on Twitter so I can use it. But no matter what I do, I'll show you the number of things I have muted on Twitter to try and avoid everything about pregnancy and abortion. But I cannot get rid of it. And it just takes over everything, especially because I do have a thing about pregnancy. I don't know if that makes sense. I might take all of this out because it's turning into a rant, but it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to be more honest and open, especially since I'm not doing anything in these vlogs. So I'm going to do food for thought and stuff. But yeah, I try so hard to avoid these topics because they just upset me so much, because so many people don't seem to know how pregnancy works, what it does to your body, how people with vaginas live in general. It's so, ugh. But yeah, so that's going on in my head. I'm going to go ballroom dancing, and I'm going to read more of 4 Dead Queens while I'm in the Uber to the ballroom dance place, and that's it. That's the end of this clip. I'm sorry. Bye. Currently laying in my bed. I went to Starbucks this morning. I tried to edit a video. I worked on it for basically an hour, and the other hour watched YouTube videos, and I came home planning to continue working on it, but instead I just got in my bed, and then I was like, oh, I never updated you guys. Didn't take a clip of me at Starbucks or my food like I usually do because I didn't. And yeah, I haven't read anything this morning. I'm going to try and finish editing my video, and then I'm going to try and read the Gilded Wolves for an hour, and then I have to go to this housewarming party I kind of really don't want to go to, but I agreed to go. That's it. That's the end. If I read, you'll see it. If I don't read, you won't see it. That's it. Bye. Good morning. I'm here to do an update, and also I'm here to wash my, what am I here to do? And I'm also here to wash my makeup brushes. Yeah, and I'm triple also here to finish getting ready. So give me a second to do that. I thought this would be a good time to update you guys and let you guys know I continue to not read in these reading vlogs. Last night I partied too hard. Basically, if you remember, I told you guys about my friend who's not my friend in her housewarming party or whatever. So I did go to that. It was super early. It started at 6, which is I don't know, pretty early, whatever. And so I went to that. I came home at 8:30. Well, I came home at 9, but at 8 I got a text from my friend who was out of the country, and yesterday was her birthday, but she wasn't sure if she was going to do anything because she was out of the country for most of the day. She was out of the country for the past week, but she was going to be out of the country for most of the day. But she came back, decided she felt okay, and she was I'm gonna have some people over. So she invited me and a dozen of her closest friends, I don't know, but she invited some people over. I went to her house and we drank some stuff, but I made the life mistake. So I drank at the housewarming party before. I came home, I changed my clothes, and then I drank at her house. I'm 21, I'm 22 actually, so this is all legal. And we're drinking, having fun, playing games, what people do. And at one point, we all decided to take a shot of tequila, which is actually my preferred drink. So we all do that. But then while we're doing it, someone, I guess, was so drunk that they like spilled their shot like while they're taking it. So it just like you could hear like it just like coming down onto the ground, and I thought that was so funny. So I started laughing while I was taking the shot. And so the end of that was that half of the shot came out of my nose, and I do not recommend that. It's not fun, painful, 0 out of 10, don't recommend. Yeah, and then I spent like half an hour like trying to rinse my nose or whatever, and Googling like what happens if you get alcohol up your nose, because it hurt like hell. The good news, it probably did not do permanent damage. Bad news, I'm really sniffly right now. It doesn't hurt anymore. It stopped hurting like an hour or so after. So that was my crazy night out. It was just me drinking at someone else's house. But I mean, do not snort alcohol, kids. Like I while I was like Googling, there was like a bunch of articles talking about how the new thing is to snort alcohol, and like, why would you do that on purpose? I don't know. But yeah, it hurt. I'm supposed to be washing my makeup brushes. That's kind of the only thing that has happened. That was like my whole last night. I didn't get home until 4 a.m. So I was inebriated. I will admit that. I got inebriated 2 nights in a row. I promise. That's not, I mean, if you watch any of my other vlogs, you know that's not what usually happens. I'm back. It's now the evening time. I forgot. I finished a book, finally. On the last day of this reading vlog, I finished a book. I finished 4 Dead Queens. I haven't really thought about it, like what I'm gonna do. I think I'm leaning towards a 3-star rating. I think it was like 60% the last time I updated you guys, and I just steamrolled through listening to the audiobook while I was like walking around and grocery shopping and stuff. I felt like the whole like mystery resolution came out of nowhere. It was very unsatisfying. I just didn't like what it ended up being. I also thought that reading the book was like confusing because it kept jumping like timelines and stuff, and I guess I wasn't expecting that. And I didn't like any of the characters. I felt like all of the characters were kind of flat and one-dimensional, especially like the villain. I felt like it didn't make sense. I don't know, I thought it was gonna be cool. It's standalone fantasy. I also felt, since it's standalone fantasy, I felt like the world building could have been a little bit better. It felt pretty repetitive because there's this part that they call like queenly lore or whatever, which are like the rules the queens follow, and they just kept repeating the same like 5 rules, and like there must be other stuff in that queenly lore. It was just really annoying. Like each chapter would say like a rule, but all the rules would like repeat often, and yeah, it would have something to do with like the next chapter, but I don't know, I felt like, why bother saying that, you know? I felt like it didn't add anything. It just made it repetitive. Like I said, I think I've said this in previous updates, but I wasn't a fan of the romance. It just didn't make sense. I felt like the main character was so dumb because, like I said, she gets betrayed at the beginning of the story, and then she like so easily trusts like the love interest who she like doesn't know, and the person she's betrayed by like she knew since she was a child. So I felt like just being super recently betrayed and then immediately trusting the next guy who comes to you like doesn't make a lot of sense. So that bothered me. What else bothered me? I feel like there should be other things. I don't think this was like a badly written book or anything like that, which is why I got like 3 stars or whatever. It just was not for me. I think if you really are into like YA fantasy, you might like it. It has like hints of an element that I don't like, which I feel like telling you guys would be a spoiler, so I'm not going to tell you. I think those are all of my opinions on 4 Dead Queens. I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. I forgot to take any footage of me having been at Starbucks, but I went to Starbucks. I got a s'mores frappuccino, cream, like there was no coffee in it. It was just like milk because I gave up coffee like multiple vlogs ago. And yeah, I gave up caffeine actually. But I will drink a little bit of caffeine, like I'll have like tea and stuff, but I'm staying away from coffee right now. I don't think I really need to stay away from coffee anymore because I got off of caffeine to see if it was affecting me, and I don't really think it was. But I don't know, I feel better not being addicted to caffeine, like just like mentally, because like before every day I would have to make sure I go and get coffee or else I would feel like shit like 2 days later. And now I just feel like shit regardless of if I get coffee. Just kidding. That's a joke, kinda. I'm really tired. But yeah, I went grocery shopping, so I'm gonna go cook what I made. I'm gonna make a shrimp, a lime and cilantro rice bowl. So yeah, I can't really film cooking because my roommate and stuff. But yeah, I'll show you guys the end result hopefully.